Good afternoon and welcome back to Adventures for Anyone. Today we are going to discuss the wonderful time that we had in Tallinn, Estonia. From the time we got off the boat and on the tram that went to the old town, we knew there was going to be something special about this city. It's Slavic, it's very real, it was under Russian rule for many, many years. And since the 1990s, Estonia has been finding its way in the world. The old town is where we spent most of our time, and you have everything here from at the bottom of the hill, McDonald's and Burger King, to some very, very interesting things on top at the cliff that overhangs the rest of the old town. Old Hansa is one of the most famous restaurants there is there, and you can get authentic Estonian food. Once you get to the windy streets on top of the hill, you'll find embassies, government buildings, and all kinds of things, including the parliament. You find tiny, winding streets that you cannot believe, a lot of them, cars drive on, so a lot of the time you have to look out just in case someone's driving up the street behind you. This was the neighborhood that we stayed in. It was tricky finding our apartment. It was tricky getting our bags up the cliff that you'll see in a little bit here, but it was so worth it. Once we finally got settled in this tiny, tiny little neighborhood of an 800-year-old town, we just loved the atmosphere. Everything was really, really interesting. Up here, you have all kinds of shops, restaurants, stands. Everything here is pretty much for the tourists, but people do live here. Always be respectful of that. Shop owners live here. Residents live here. People come up here and they park their cars. As you can see, I have no idea how they do it, but there they are. We chose not to. I always take public transportation when I'm in a good-sized city. But you will find here beautiful places that you can get all of your Slavic souvenirs. I highly recommend looking for something truly Estonian, because a lot of the things that I saw in the shops were nesting dolls and other things that used to be more Russian and Ukrainian than they were other Slavic countries. So keep that in mind when you're shopping. But you find all kinds of things. Always keep in mind, if you're flying like we were, be careful if it's glass. You always have the option in most of these gift shops. You can make arrangements there or take them to another place and you can ship them home, so they're not getting beat up in your luggage, so that's always a good thing. Up here on the hill, we discovered that while the streets were old, the doors are old, the windows are old, but the buildings are actually in very good shape. Everything had Wi-Fi, cell service, our television set had satellite TV, and you could use apps on it. It was absolutely amazing. We even had a dishwasher in our apartment, which is right above where I was standing in this video. So keep that in mind. Another thing that the old town in Tallinn has is, get this folks, check it out. We're inside a tower here, and that tower is part of something that I have never been able to do before. This is hundreds and hundreds of years old. This used to be used to protect this old town from advances, and it's the lower town. That cliff over there is the one we dragged our luggage up, and the upper town, and that's right, here you go. You can walk on the old city walls here in Tallinn. They have certain sections set up for €5. You can go walk up there for as long as you choose. And they are working on other parts of the wall to open it up so that you can walk even further. Once again, here in the old town, you just saw a school there. There's plenty of buildings where people live. There's businesses, even besides the touristy ones. So always be respectful when you're being a tourist, because people live there. Believe it or not, with all the options they have, people live there. So you find yourself wandering around. That is what it looks like from below. This is ancient. As I said, the old town in Tallinn is about 800 years old. It's been through pretty much everybody. Just Swedes, Prussians, Russians, Soviets, you name it, and it's still standing today. This is untouched. It was never destroyed in any war. So it's a really great place to get that authentic walled city experience. It's really hard to get that in Europe because of World War II in particular. So it's a very special event that you have there, being able to climb and walk on those walls into the towers and just enjoy the cobbles, the buildings. It's absolutely amazing. And up on that cliff from the upper old town, this is going to be your view. There are viewing platforms, terraces, whatever you want to call them, that look out over the city all over this edge of the old town. And you can see out there the new part of the city. You can see out over the port area onto the sea. And you can see all of the old town below. It's a great place to get your photos on. I'll tell you right now, if you're up there, you have to take pictures. You have to. You can't miss this, because it's a view you just won't get anywhere but Tallinn, as the wall says up there. But there are various locations. There are different parts of the wall. There's different terraces that you can look off of. Sunset, obviously this time of year. Once again, there's the view of the steps that you drag your luggage up if you're staying in that part of the old town. They could probably use a funicular, but all in all, just a beautiful, beautiful old place to spend your time. And we spent most of our time in Old Town when we were there, with the winding streets, the little shops, and the great restaurants. And we found some really cool, very cool places. One of those places was the First and Bear restaurant, which has been there for 500 years. They even have a YouTube video you can watch about it. The food was great. We got some Russian pelmeni. It was elk meat. The bartender there, she's a lovely lady, makes some great drinks. They have great beer, and they have great ambiance. This is not dissimilar from other restaurants in the old town. A lot of them look like you're sitting in a cave, because in the old days, that's where the pubs were, folks. They were underneath where people lived. Another place that we did love, though, if you want to get out, do something more modern and touristy, right next to Old Town is the main train station, and right across the street is one of the main city markets. We got a lot of drinks and eats there and some souvenirs. So from the moment you pull into this port in this wonderful city, you're just going to love everything old and everything new. And I can't recommend it enough to take the time to get to know Tallinn, Estonia. I'm Terry. I'm 60 and I'm not done yet. So join me for more adventures for anyone next time, and like and subscribe if you want to learn how to do great things no matter how old you are.